Interact or jet? Interact or jet? That is what I'm here to help you guys figure out in today's video. So if you are interested in knowing the pros and cons of both the Interact and jet program, then just stay tuned. I got you, honey. Hey guys, and welcome back to Tomi's World. You already know it's your girl Tomi, and I am back with another video. Before I even get into everything that I will be talking about today, the main difference between the JET program and the Interact program is that JET is a program that is run by the government of Japan, basically, like not by the government, it's like under one of those branches, you know what I mean? Interact, on the other hand, is a private entity. So all of the other differences that will come under these are mainly because of this one big difference. One is public, one is private, even though both Interact and JET ALTs teach in public schools. Okay? So before you come to Japan, on the JET program, for me, I knew that we had what is called a pre-departure orientation, where they kind of briefed you on the things that you needed to know about Japan. For example, there was one lady who told me, yes, she specifically picked me out and told me, oh, that v-neck that you're wearing, you can't wear that in Japan. They also tried to help us with some teaching tips and things like that. So we had the pre-departure orientation, and we also had another huge fancy dinner where we spoke with the ambassador for Japan in Jamaica, and other members of the Jamaican parliament were there, and a lot of high society people, because we are basically seen as ambassadors for our country when we leave to come to Japan on the JET program. On the other hand, my friends, and I have a few sources because I have a couple friends who are here in Japan teaching English on Interact, so they told me that they don't have any sort of send-off like that. Once you get accepted into the Interact program, they give you this online course to do, and that will help you to know what you need to know before you come to Japan. So it's kind of difficult to meet anybody else who's going to be coming on Interact. But with JET, because we have these programs, the pre-departure orientation and dinner, we meet all the JETs that are actually coming to Japan with us that year. So for example, I know that there were 38 JETs in my group that came in 2018, yeah, when I came over. Coming to Japan, and you might be wondering why I did before coming to Japan, then coming to Japan, but there is a stark difference. So when you come to Japan on the JET program, they pay for your airfare, so you don't have to worry about that. With the JET program, all JETs have to come on the same flight to Japan. So all 38 Jamaican JETs who came in 2018 with me, we all came on the same flight. And we left from Kingston and arrived in Japan together. Once you get to Japan, there are a lot of people who are set up and organized to like help us navigate our way throughout Narita Airport, and we get into the buses that JET actually provides for us, and then the buses take us to our hotels that is also provided by JET. And once we get to the hotels, we do like a 3-day orientation. It's more like 2 days, and then on the 3rd day, JET also pays for us to fly to our different prefectures, because of course everyone is not going to be staying in Tokyo. But for the people in Tokyo, I'm not sure if they get some sort of subsidy to like take the train or something, but I know that all of this money that is spent for air travel, anything like that, JET actually takes care of that. On the other hand, with the Interact program, you are in charge of taking care of your air travel. You are in charge of finding your way to the hotel where you will have your orientation. You are basically in charge of everything, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, because the thing about the JET program is, before I came to Japan, I was in America and I was hoping that I could just catch a flight from Jersey with the Jersey Jets, because no matter where they're coming from, we all have to arrive in Japan at the same time. So we leave at the same time. Because JET pays for our airfare, it has to be very scheduled. So everyone has to leave from the exact embassy that you came from. So I had to fly back to Jamaica, then leave from Jamaica with all the other jets. Even though our flight took us straight to JFK and then we had a 6-hour layover, I couldn't just meet them in JFK. We all had to leave on the same flight together. Whereas with the Interac system, because you are the one who is paying for your own flight, you can choose when to fly. You just have to be sure that you get to Japan in time for your orientation. So I guess it has its pros and cons. Okay, on to point number 3. Vacation days. For vacation days for jets, it can vary. The main jet document actually says that jets get 20 vacation days, but it varies from prefecture to prefecture, board of education to board of education. Some ALTs will get like 5 days, some ALTs get 10 days. I think I get 15 days. When you need to use your vacation days, you have to apply for them, and sometimes they can tell you that yes, you can get your vacation days, or no, you can't get your vacation days, because if it's within the school year when you are needed as a ALT, then obviously you can't just take your vacation days and go off unless it's an emergency. With Interact, on the other hand, you have 10 vacation days. 5 of them are your free days where you can apply to use them wherever or whenever you want. The other 5 are stipulated by the company when you take these days. So my friend was telling me that she had to take all 5 days in December. We don't do that. We just take our vacation days when we want. But the good thing about both companies is that both Jet and Interact get all of the Japanese national holidays off with pay. So that's pretty good for me. Also, something else that I had to mention when it comes on to vacation days is that Jets work year-round. So we are always at school. In the summer vacation, when there are no students at school, you have to go to work because all the other Japanese teachers are going to work. And this is just your job. You have to go to work. I mean, probably some people don't go to work because, as you know, in Japan, every situation is different. But we are mostly mandated to go to work every single day. In December, we have to work on Christmas Day unless you take one of your paid vacation days off. And you work all of December all the way up to about December 29 or the last Friday in December. Then you get the rest of it off, which is kind of crazy. With Interact ALTs, they get their summer vacations off. They also get their winter vacations off. But it kind of impacts the salary in a way. So when we get to point 5, we'll talk about that. But when it comes on to Interact and Jet, I feel like for vacation, Interact totally wins this section. Wait, I'm being objective. Sorry. I mean, they both have their pros and cons. On to point number 4. Work life. So for work life on the Jet program, you work from basically 8 until 4:15 or whatever the school day is. You're only allowed to work 8 hours. But I think what I read on the Interact site is that you work from 8 to 5, which is like
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
9 hours. So Jet ALTs work 8 hours a day. And then for Interact, they work 9 hours because it's from 8 to 5. Another big difference between Jet and Interact is that Jet program ALTs are only allowed to work 21 days for the month. So if there are more than 21 work days in the month, then we will get the other days as BUQ, which is special leave. So once there are more than 21 working days, we will definitely not work more than 21. You are only allowed to work 21 work days. And if you do end up working on the weekend, you always get those days off as special leave anyway. And that's for both Interact and Jet. But Interact ALTs, they work all the work days of the month. So from Monday to Friday, every single day of the month, they have to do their jobs. So that's a big difference. Probably you didn't know that, did you? I don't think you did. I don't think you did you? Don't lie. The next thing about work life for both Jet and Interact is that because Jet program is more of a exchange program and Interact ALTs are marketed to the schools as teachers and it's a teaching program, it's a private company, then Interac ALTs actually have to teach like 3 to 5 45-minute classes a day, while JET program ALTs, we just work based on our schedule that we are provided with by our supervisors at our schools. So for me, sometimes I can be teaching like 3 classes per day, and then another time I'm not teaching any at all for like weeks and months on end. And that might just be my situation, but there are other JET ALTs who work a lot more. But the thing is, Interact is definitely stipulated. It tells you that you have to teach 3 to 5 classes a day. JET doesn't have any system like that. You just work based on what the teachers need you to do. So, okay, on to point number 5. Point number 5 is going to be salary. And I know that a lot of you guys have been waiting to hear about this. I'm not even going to waste your time. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that JET program ALTs get way more money than Interact ALTs. This is the biggest difference, I think, because JET program ALTs get 280,000 yen in their first year, and that is before tax, and about 200 and I went for my pay slip because I want to make sure. So after tax we get about 230,000, whereas with Interact ALTs they get 215,000 before tax, and after tax I have no idea what they get. So yeah, and out of that 215 they're expected to pay like health insurance and things like that, whereas with the JET program they deduct a lot of the insurances from our paycheck already. If you want to know more about the money on JET program, then I'll leave a link to my other video like somewhere on top of here. But the difference here in salary is that JET program ALTs are not allowed to work a second job. Like they told us, you're not allowed to work another job. So with that 280,000 yen you have to make it work for everything, whereas Interact ALTs can work other jobs, and I mean they should be able to because their salary is like a lot less than ours, which is crazy. But with Interac you can work as many jobs as you want. I guess that's a pro or a con depending on how you look at it, because I don't want to work more than one job because I'm lazy. But if you're like up for that challenge, then that should be something like to think about. Yeah. Another thing about the JET program and Interact salary is that Interact salary is really complicated. Like my friends were trying to explain it to me so that I could explain it to you guys, but I don't even want to delve into it because I honestly don't understand. With the JET program you get your paycheck every single month regardless of whatever the situation is. However, with the Interact program there are months when your paycheck might be less, like at the end of your contract, and then when you decide to renew, which would be probably March, April, both of those periods your paycheck is going to be less because you're not working for Interac in the interim, you know what I mean? But with the JET program you just get the same pay regardless. So every month you can expect this set salary regardless of what happens, which is pretty cool. I like having a set salary and knowing exactly what I'm gonna get. These are just some of the differences between the JET program and the Interact program. I've been asked this question a lot, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview. This video is kind of long and I'm sorry about that, but if you made it all the way to here, please go ahead and leave your girl a like, subscribe, share, just show your girl some love. Thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, and if you have any questions that you want to ask about either of these programs, go ahead and leave a comment below because I'll be sure to answer. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next upload. Bye. Mwah.